What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are doing another overview. What are we looking at? We are looking at David Petersen's masterpiece. We are looking at Mouse Guard. All right, so first things first, David Petersen. He is the creator, the writer, the artist behind the epic series Mouse Guard. And if you know anything about my channel, you know that I love me some anthropomorphic characters. And he is one of the top guys doing stories like that. And Mouse Guard, this is volume 1, fall of 1152. This is a long currently ongoing series, but has a ton out, and I finally just finished reading, catching up on the entire series so far. So we have fall of 1152, we have winter 1152, we have Black Axe, and then we have the Legends box set, volumes 1, 2, 3, and then we have Baldwin the Brave. So, you know what? This is ongoing. There's a ton of stuff to it. Obviously, we have 6 regular hardcovers, 1 smaller hardcover. We have, grab these real quick. We have, for Free Comic Book Day, Arcadia did hardcovers a couple times. So I picked up both hardcovers that include Mouse Guard. These have a lot of really cool stories in them, not just Mouse Guard. But these are more, I think they had, is like Baldwin the Brave and some other stuff in, yeah, I think they were both Baldwin the Brave in there. So this is actually a double dip with that single hardcover Baldwin the Brave. And these also have a few other stories in here from other things like Rust and things like that. So we won't go over these because these are double dipping, but they are kind of fun to have, especially, you know, who does hardcovers on Free Comic Book Day? Craziness. Anyways, let's talk about the stories. Let's check them out. All right, so here is this is the reading order for Mouse Guard by David Petersen. So we start off with fall of 1152, then we have winter of 1152, the Black Axe, then we have Mouse Guard, Legends of the Guard, volumes 1, 2, and 3. This does come in a nice box set. You can also buy the individual hardcovers, but yeah. Mine also have a little bit funky dust jackets, like these 4 match, but these 2 don't match this one. And then you have Baldwin the Brave and Other Tales that was the latest to come out and is kind of after, well, you could really put this anywhere in here. But this is the order that I read them in, and this is the recommended reading order if you're interested in it. But yeah, so let's get into exactly what Mouse Guard is. We'll put these off to the side and deal with those later. Give me a little more space. All right, so we have Mouse Guard, fall of 1152. These books are so great. Let me get just like a regular oversized hardcover. So this is IDW, TMNT. So just to give you some scale of a regular oversized hardcover, they are a little bit wider, but obviously a lot shorter. So they're more square bound than anything. And yeah, but they are great like this. So you have dust jackets back. These are usually imprint. Here's a spine shot. I kind of showed you the spines already in the back. So these nice like wraparound covers on here. Absolutely gorgeous. These do retail for $24.99 USD. Wait for them to come back in print if they're out of print or hard to find. They're usually relatively cheap. And go for those. There are also some like black and white signed numbered editions that are actually larger scale and really nice copies. I would love to get those, but those are the cheapest one. I think for 1152 is like $100, and then the other 2 are like, because there's only 3 of them for the 2 fall and winter, and then Black Axe, and I think Black Axe is the cheap one, and then fall and winter are like, you know, $200-300 maybe each, but crazy expensive. I also have the statue of this, which is super cool. Yeah, anyways, let's get into it. We got a map for the end sheets, which are just so awesome. I love when they do this, and you can go through and see where everything is actually located in the universe. And then, yeah, let's get right into it. Yeah, Story and Art by David Petersen. And yeah, so these are used books, and I've read them, and they're well read before, and they're still holding up really well. Obviously, they lay really flat. I mean, come on, like ultra flat. Like there's zero gutter loss in here. So basically what this is sort of a medieval times telling of a tale of mice who are living life, and in the regular woods and meadows and all that, and the struggles that they go through as mice trying to build up their villages and cities. And when predators come along, wolves, ravens, owls, whoever, like snakes. There was the Great Weasel War that they talk about quite a bit. I really hope that they go way more into depth on the Weasel War. But yeah, so you go really into it, and it's very, very well done. I mean, the art is just absolutely gorgeous. The storytelling is just so fun and so interesting. There's so much heart in here. And these follow the first two books, Fall and Winter, follow mainly three mice who are part of the Guard, which is like the knights, the fighters, the protectors in this universe. And we have Liam, Kenzie, and Saxon, and their adventures as mice in the Mouse Guard, and trying to solve mysteries and fight the bad guys and the prey, and outsmart and take care of the people, because they are the protectors and the caretakers of these lands. And so it gets right into it where they're fighting mice, or not, the mice are fighting the snakes, and obviously those are pretty bad predators for mice, but they are well in hand, and they can handle and dispatch these types of predators. And obviously scary, but obviously something that they are equipped to handle. Very fun. A lot of really cool action and fighting sequences. Obviously, I mean, come on, like so cool. And then this whole thing, they find them. Oh man, I just love this. Like with the giant sand crab and fighting and his little taking care of things. Oh man, so gorgeous. So yeah, it jumps around quite a bit, with the politics of the day, when they're, trying to meet up with guards who have been stationed far away for a long time, and what they're going through on their own, obviously fighting giant crabs attacking, and then dealing, with, politics of the villages, small villages, and politics of the large villages, and the people who run the villages and who don't, and are they, lots of danger, lots of cool backstory of all these different characters and Asgard and who they are and what they go through. Oh man, it is so much fun and is so deep. And like when they get put in, they find their way down into the depths of the world, and the old areas that were long forgotten, and oh man, so cool. And then there's legends in this universe like the Black Axe, and so much good stuff. So 1152 follows these three mice and what they go through trying to protect the kingdom, and yeah, really great. So going through what they kind of good introduction to the whole kingdom universe, what they do as guards and who they are, and just the whole political arena that they're working in. Really great epilogues. And then you have maps in the back, guides. Here's kind of some cool isometric views of the map of the villages, and then about some of the main cities, the trades of the mice. So cool, and gallery and pinups in here. So a lot of extras, a lot of really cool extras in these books. And then, yep, there we go. Back to the map end sheet, which I love when they do that. So great. So we'll do, that's 1152, fall of 1152. Then we have winter, which is so beautiful. And then we'll just give a quick peek here. We'll kind of scooch through this. More maps. Yeah. So then this kind of continues the story on with the mice and what they're going through. Obviously, it's winter now, so they're dealing with some different issues with winter and food, and trying to deal with giant owls stalking them. This gets a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of the political issues that's going on and beginning to arise with kind of the king and queen type kingdom stuff. And then this is where they kind of discover stuff underneath the world that they're used to living in, and discovering other characters who are legends in their world, which is the wielder of the black axe. And oh man, the black axe legend is so great. Absolutely love it. So let's get through. So yeah, they deal with a lot of stuff, obviously freezing, and man, this art is just so good. And I love the flashback issue, how they do flashbacks, and it's like that old looking stuff. Oh man, so good. So good. And then, I mean, come on, look at all those bats and things, and ooh, so great. And this is where you discover a little bit more about the Weasel War and kind of what happened there a little bit. Not a ton. I really cannot wait till they go into that more. Petersen's obviously got something in mind, and wow, it is so great. It's, I don't want to say The Witcher because it's got some dark stuff in it, just because, but man, it's like, I'm trying to compare it to something that's for people to know, like The Witcher and Game of Thrones, obviously a lot cleaner and, less sultry, but just with all the politics and the danger and the fighting and the darkness, and a little bit of a maybe Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, just with all the craziness of the world and the fighting and the old time, going into all the different old castles and keeps and things like that. And oh man, yeah. So that gets into that, and obviously has some really interesting stuff going on with the politics of the day and the danger of the village to the villages and the cities, and then what they do to solve that and go through that. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's such a great story. I don't want to give it away. And so this here tracks the different routes that were taken in the book. So that's super cool to see how that all goes around, like Lockhaven, one of the main cities, and where they go and when they come back and all that. Super cool. Like key points here, like where they find the black axe and all that. And then just a lot of extras in here too about the different, the keeps and things and the mice. And then obviously Stan Sakai pinup with Usagi. So good. Lots of great pinups. Next is the black axe. And so, yeah, next is black axe. So this jumps into the entire legend of the black axe and explains it in a lot more depth in how the black axe was, the legend of the black axe and the black axe itself was created and where all that came from. And very, very interesting story, and lots of different animals in this one, turtles and bears and rabbits and the crow, or is that a raven? I think maybe a crow. I don't know. But just the different things that the black axe, how the legend started and where it started from, and how, and the weasels, and so good, so very good, and how what the villages were going through. So this actually jumps back in time after fall and winter 1152. So this takes place long before that, and then just it's so good. I loved this book. I think this was my favorite book of the entire series. While these two built the world up really cool in a really, really great way and had a really great ongoing story, this was a great flashback to fill out. So I hope that they do the same thing with the Weasel War that Petersen did with Black Axe, to go and fill out the whole backstory of it. Very cool. Oh, those look how gorgeous Petersen's work is on those foxes. I mean, come on. Oh, so good. But yeah, so this goes into all about the Black Axe and what they went through. There's a very cool island adventure and a lot of danger, and just showing the bravery of these mice, because they're so tiny, and but they're mighty and they're brave, and they have their wits, which is a big thing. Like, they're the guard and they're great fighters, but they're still small and they're still vulnerable, but they have to use their wits and their bravery to really get through this world. And that's, counting on each other and helping each other and all that. Really great lessons, really fun, really, really great for kids and adults, all ages story. I really want to let my daughters read these books soon. My oldest is I think she's ready to read these. I want to I should get these to her and have her start reading it here soon, now that I'm saying it out loud. Really great stuff, again, about the different locations and all that. And then, just different characters. Ooh, so good. All right, more pinups about the author. All right, so that is the Black Axe. And then we get into, I'll just do one of these. I'll just do volume 1 of Legends of the Guard. So this is actually really cool. I loved how they did this. So these offered other creators the opportunity to play in this universe. And what happened was Petersen invited all these different creators to come in, and we got Jeremy Bastian, who did Cursed Pirate Girl, great creator, and you got all these other creators in here, tons of them, who drew and or wrote them. And so Petersen sets up each thing before the creator takes over. So it's basically pub stories is what it is all these people owe the owner of this pub money, and she is going to let whoever tells her the best tale, a tale maybe that she's never heard or told in the best way, she is going to give them, wipe out their debt to the pub. That the night she does this, she'll wipe out their debt, and everyone else has to pay, but whoever spins the best tale gets to have their debts forgiven. So Petersen sets up each story and kind of tells the tale in the pub between each story. And man, so it is super cool to see how each creator tells a different, tells a different story. Some of them have a lot of dialogue and storytelling. Some are completely wordless. Gorgeous, change ups between storytelling. So this is Jeremy Bastian. So it's very cool how this happens. Goes back and forth, and okay, now this story's done. There's a little take between that Petersen does, and then we're on to Ted Nafe's, sorry if I'm butchering your name, story. And so between each story is, Petersen sets it up and does a little story and dialogue between, gives the characters more depth, which is super cool, and bridges the gap, and then we get into the next story. So yeah, definitely some very different art styles in here, and each one's between a couple pages to 10 pages. So it's very short stories, very in and out, very cool. I love seeing how they do different takes, and a lot of these tales you could kind of see a little bit about what was going to happen or may happen, but they're very interesting and very unique and very well told. There wasn't one in any of these 3 books that I did not like. So we'll get in here, and then you got a lot of extras, and then you got the isometric view of the inn and pub, and then all the different, what everything is. Very cool. More maps and about all the different creators in here. Very cool. And then Legends of the Guard volumes 2 and 3 are the same thing. It's just every year now. June and her pub have created this as a event. I'm trying to get this back in here. Okay, you know what, screw it. So it's all like, it becomes this event that they do every year. And so there's new stories, new creators telling new stories. Very cool way of fleshing out the world and keeping it going while Petersen plugs away at his stories. So then you have Baldwin, the Brave, and other tales. And this is very similar in Legends of the Guard, only it is all Petersen, and it's kind of like a father-son telling a story, and then you got a play and a show telling a story with like puppets and marionettes to tell these tales. So it just fleshes out the whole world and all these legends around it. And very cool, very well and interesting and uniquely told every single time. Really enjoyed this one. I cannot wait for more of this. So this one, again, was all by Petersen. Really cool world. And then you got a bigger map, which is super cool too. And then, boom, and some nice end sheets again. So the only other thing left is Mouse Guard, Free Comic Book Day, hardcover issues. And these are a couple of the stories. I think each of these contain one story, but they're all stories that are from Baldwin, the Brave, and other stories. So like these, they have, get into it, and here's the three sisters, the Black Axe Trio, and so you do that, and then it jumps into, at the end, then you go into, I think this one's Rust, and there's a couple other comics in here by Arcadia too. So yeah, so it's got a lot of extras. I'm a bit of a completionist, so I grabbed these because why the heck not? Or like $15 for the two of them or something like that. But yeah, so that is a quick look, not so quick look, of the Mouse Guard reading order and universe. All right, so that was a quick look at David Petersen's Mouse Guard series. I freaking love this series. Now that I'm caught up, this is why when I find a series I absolutely love that's still ongoing, I hesitate to even start it, because then I tear through it, or I try and parse it out and not read it as very quickly because I know that it's still ongoing. But here I am. I read it all, friggin' loved it. Petersen's art is just so good. He does such great like medieval, woodsy, detailed work. It's so cool. I love seeing all the maps, and he does all these like isometric shots like at the end of the book. So in the extras, you can see like what the pub looked like, where they're all telling the stories and the legends and all that. It is so cool. He does so much good detail, and his animals are so pretty. And yeah, just detailed. And the scale, I love seeing scale where everything looks giant. Like, an owl. Mostly like compared to us, owls aren't very big, but to like a tiny little mouse or something like that, an owl is giant. So it's so cool seeing them like ride birds or, fight owls, and they're just like fighting a giant, but it's like, for them it's an enormous scale, but, understanding it from our perspective, it's not very big. But yeah, I love this series. It has so much heart, such cool world building, and just such good depth. I cannot wait to go back and reread it and really pick up on some more of the details now that I have an overarching storyline and I know all that, and I can pay more attention to all these little details in there. It is so great. I absolutely have to get a commission by David Petersen now. He does great Usagi Yojimbo commissions, and he does like variant covers for Usagi. Man, the guy does so much good stuff, and no wonder his stuff comes out slow, because he puts so much heart into it, and he's always live on Twitch drawing and talking. Really interactive guy, really cool. Love seeing creators like this. So definitely be sure to check out Mouse Guard. Some of the hardcovers are available through Organic Price Books. You can use my code to get some money off. You can go to David Petersen's website. Sometimes they're signed, but he's usually always has them in print. And if they're out of print, wait a little bit, because a lot of times they go back into print. So definitely don't overspend on these. That box set I had waiting on eBay alerts forever, and I was able to pick it up for like 30 bucks. Super cheap, great deals. So yeah, go out there, find it. Let me know if you do find it and how much you found it for, if you found a great deal on this stuff. But yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all those things. But the most important thing to do is, yes, comment. Let me know in the comments who your favorite anthropomorphic creator is and what that series is. Is it Mouse Guard? Is it Usagi? Is it Black Sad? Let me know in the comments. Love talking with y'all, finding new great series and creators out there. There's so many of them, it's just impossible to keep track of them all. So let me know in the comments who your favorites are. All right, that's it. Take care. Stay cool.